So the way this fight's gonna work is as follows. It will take a long time, and I will murder the boss slowly, inch by inch. 1,000 paper cuts. I don't need that. Do need that. The premise behind this is I'm only going to melee him and let the bleed damage over time heal me and damage the boss at the same time. Oh, he's a regenerator. This will be fine. I've done this before. So I want him to be corroded because that gives me more damage and more health. Like more health regen. And the reason that I've got on this ability... Oh wait, no, that's not what I wanted. I want Blink Token. You know, I'll just toss on Flicker Cloak and be done with it. Gotta make sure my corrosion stays down, because he likes to tag with those little needles. And if I get corroded, well, it will kill me. Or it could kill me. Before they nerfed bleed heals, I did this fight without bleed at all. I'm sorry, without dodging at all. Now that they've changed bleed heals, I just need to be a little bit more mindful. That'll probably help even the score. Maybe I should headshot him a little bit. Right? That makes sense. When the boss gets downed, surprisingly, it's not the best time for me to damage him. I just want to get back my correct mod that I like to use. Wait, no corrosion. Get up close. Okay, now I'm gonna actually try to hit his head so it doesn't take 14 years. Here we go, Rift Walker. Beautiful ability. I probably could have put on Terror Margin for a little bit higher heals. But then my armor would definitely go down. Because I'd get heals directly from the slices, and I would get heals from the damage over time. It would actually be better consistent heals against this guy as long as I'm damaging him, versus a little bit of bleed heals. Because the blade would be healing for a portion as well. Like, it wouldn't just be the damage over time, so increasing the bleed damage wouldn't be as effective for healing as using the blade to also heal me. Can I get a stamina regeneration potion, please? See, in instances like that, that's when I pop my items. Use the thing that keeps me from dying. Really not the quickest way to kill a boss. Would not recommend for most bosses. But for this one, it's not bad. Half of me wants to switch to the terror margin in the middle of this fight, and the other half of me will be disappointed if I die because of the lack of the armor and a very well timed swipe from the boss. Fun fact, you can crouch here when those little pieces are flying right over your head. Like that. Oh, corrosion's bad. Very, very bad. Very, very bad. It was nice being able to slide in there and corrode him a little bit more before it wore off. Nope, I did not dodge that well at all. And, I thought he was going to hit me with that. Looks like I gathered incorrectly. See? Should you do this? No. Can you do this? Yep. On Apocalypse. It would be a little bit more challenging if you had, let's say, him with Vicious, but instead of using the ability that lets you cloak and sort of become immune to damage, you could put on Howler's Immunity, which reduces the damage you take, and that should be a little bit more sustainable thresholds for this boss and his damage output. Be a little bit easier for you to not die if he's just not doing as much damage, and that's the only difference. He does more damage. A lot of people have trouble on this boss fight because of the amount of damage the boss does. Just hits really hard, especially when you're playing multiplayer. And then you got the corrosion things that are coming in and wrecking your armor, and you've got the boss swipes coming out of nowhere. You get corroded, and the little daggers flying through the air are enough to kill you off, even on hard. So yeah, let me show you the build. Again, weapons weren't super important because I wasn't using them. If you decide you wanted to use this build, but you want to damage things by shooting them as well, use whatever weapons are your friends, however you want to play it. You could have switched off the sawed-off, which I was using to corrode the boss, and instead using the hive cannon. But again, I wanted 0 weapon damage, so that's why I used the Corrosive Aura instead. And again, you could put on something like the Howler's Immunity, which will make you and your teammates take less damage while it's active. The moment it goes down, it'll start charging up. The other 2 abilities that you saw me use during the fight, which were Flicker Cloak and Rift Walker, both have a cooldown period. So you can't use them back to back. You can't generate them as quickly. So you have to be a little bit more strategic, and maybe they're not going to be as good in in fights with other people when you're trying to just survive yourself, but they are really good if you're using them to revive other people. So yeah, pretty much bleed damage, healing for this build, a little bit more armor, and then I was stacking elemental resistance / defense. And pristine essence gives you plus 15 to everything. Then we got the green leaf, which gives us 30% corrosion resistance. Combined, it was enough to keep me from dying from those spikes coming out of the walls. Hope you enjoyed this build.